Alright, so monetary approach is associated with the Chicago School of Economics. Here's the formula to determine exchange rates according to them. And so the N denotes the money supply, V denotes the velocity of money, and Y is the national aggregate output. And there's basically three key determinators of exchange rate. One is relative money supply, relative velocities of the money, and relative national output.
Alright, mine's question 6, chapter unknown. How can a country run a balance of payments deficit or surplus? They can run a balance of payments deficit or surplus by engaging in official reserve transactions. So if they want to run a deficit, they can draw down the central bank's reserve holdings, and if they want a surplus, they can do the opposite and increase central reserve holdings.
So my question asks about the bid-ask spreads between two countries. So that's between New Zealand and Singapore. And these are the base locations and all the American and European terms. So to find that, you plug in the indication. The first one, you get 0.8436. Once you get that, you find the reciprocal of that. And you get 1.12854 for New Zealand, and you get to find Singapore, so we do the same thing. You get 0.8452, again, you get 1.8132. So from that, you get the spread for Singapore, it's 0.8436 to 0.8432. Singapore to New Zealand, it's 1.1832 to 1.1854.
Question 10 deals with purchasing power parity. The first concept is the law of one price, which requires that essentially two similar goods in two different countries should be selling at the same price, given the currency across the countries. The absolute PPP holds that the price level between two countries is equal to is relatively equal times the exchange rate. And then lastly, the relative PPP is holds that the rate of exchange between a pair of countries is about equal to the difference in their inflation rates.
Every time a European country's currency deviated, what they did was just say you have to make policies in order to come back to the central weighted price. And because of that, as of 1999, we have a zero. And yeah,
buying and selling the same or equivalent assets or commodities for the purpose of making certain guaranteed profits. The second question was discuss the implications of interest rate parity for the exchange rate determinations. That's the formula. Exchange rate is determined by the relative interest rates and expected future spot rate, conditional on all available information.
And then I had number 7. For number 7, we want to calculate the 1, 3, and 6 month forward premium or discount for the US dollar versus the British pound using European word quotation. And for simplicity, we were going to say each month has 30 days. And then the interpretation on these ones. So the formula we want to use for this is right here. It's going to be the forward exchange rate minus the spot rate divided by the spot rate again. Times 360 times the amount of days you're trying to calculate. So in this case, we're doing the forward exchange rate for the US dollar versus the British pound. So we have 0.6943 minus the spot rate, which is 0.6944, divided by the spot rate again, times the amount of days in the year divided by 30. Because this is for 1 month, this is for 3 months, and this is for 6 months. Overall, the explanation ends up being that the pattern of forward premiums here indicates the dollar is trading at a discount versus the British pound. That is, it becomes less expensive to buy a dollar forward or British pound in absolute and percentage terms the further into the future one contracts. That's for 7.
So, scenario, you're in London and you're purchasing a Jaguar for €35,000. It's payable in 3 months. You have exactly enough cash in your New York City bank account, which pays a 0.35% interest per month, compounding monthly, to pay for the car. Currently, the spot exchange is $1.45 a euro, and the 3-month forward exchange is $1.40 in London. The money market interest rate is 2% for a 3-month investment. There are 2 alternative ways to pay for the Jaguar. Option A, keep the funds at your bank in the U.S. and buy €35,000 for it. Then option B, buy a certain pound amount spot today and invest the amount in the UK for 3 months so that the maturity value becomes equal to $35,000. So now the question asks us to evaluate each method and decide which one is better. So in order to do that, you need to write down all the numbers that I said. So I have the accounts payable, the interest New York, the interest London, the spot rate, and the forward 3 months rate. So for option A, when you buy $35,000 forward, you'll need a $49,000 in 3 months to fulfill the forward contract. And then after that, you want to compute the present value of the $49,000. Plug in the 35% interest rate, and that comes out to $48,489. And option B is you type in the present value of $35,000 divided by the interest in London, which comes out to $34,314. And then you multiply that number by the spot rate, which comes to a higher number than in option A, so you choose option A. Woo!
So I have question 11, which is evaluate the usefulness of the relative PPP in predicting movements in foreign exchange rates in the short term and long term. And the PPP is not useful for predicting exchange rates on the short term basis, but it is more useful in predicting exchange rates in the long term.
Slide number 2, why would it be useful to examine country balance payments data? It would be useful to examine country BOP for at least 2 reasons. First, BOP provides detailed information about the supply and demand of the country's currency. Second, BOP data can be used to evaluate the performance of countries in international economic competition. For example, if a country is experiencing perennial BOP deficits, it may signal that the country's industries lack competitiveness.
Alright, so the foreign exchange market is basically comprised of converting purchasing power, bank deposits of foreign currency, extension of credit in foreign currency, foreign trade financing, as well as trading in foreign currency options or future contracts. So there's basically two tiers. There's the wholesale and interbank market, as well as the retail and client market. And essentially the wholesale and interbank market services the client market by buying and selling currency, as well as just serving retail clients, corporations, and individuals in foreign commerce and international investment.
Alright, so the first part of this question was to find the interest rate parity if it's holding. So this is the formula for that, and you find that it's not holding. If it's not holding, how do you do interest rate arbitrage? So you have to first, if you were to get £1 million, then the repayment would be in dollars, 1,530,000. So you would buy 1 million pounds at 1.45 interest rate, and once that matures, it would be 1,014,500 pounds. So then you would sell those pounds for a forward for $1,542, and then the profit would be $12,000. And then the final part is explain how the parity would be restored as a result of the arbitrage activities. So the dollar interest rates would go up, as well as the spot exchange, and then the pound interest rate and the forward exchange rate would go down.
My question was, what is triangular arbitrage? Yeah, there we go. Everybody looked up. Cool. Triangular arbitrage, I think Manasa talked about it in her problem, right? Cool. It's the process of trading out the US dollar into a second currency, then trading it for a third currency, which is in turn traded for US dollars. You're trying to just earn a profit by trading currencies, which is kind of an odd concept, but yeah, so.
Short and sweet, baby. We love short and sweet.
Mine's not going to be.
Damn. You jerk.
So the IRP is interest rate parity, and it's basically a theory that says the difference between the interest rates of different currencies equals the difference between the spot exchange rate and the forward exchange rate. So what that means is any upside you see from trading a currency is going to be canceled out by the premium or the discount you get on the forward rate of exchange. So my question asks to look to see if the IRP is holding between USD and Australian money, and we can see here that it isn't. I could explain that, but it'll take forever. And since it isn't, we ask how to profit off of that. So to profit off that's called arbitrage, and here's how we do it. We borrow the equivalent of $1 million USD in Australian money, and then we'll have to pay back that plus the Australian interest rate in a year. But before we pay that back, we're going to sell that loan we got for $1 million USD. So now we actually own that money, so we can invest it, and we invest it at the risk-free rate, which is 3.5%. And we'll eventually get this number. With that number, we can buy even more Australian currency, and we'll buy it for this amount. And then we get our profit, which is the difference between what we gained off of our USD investment and what we had to pay to get this much Australian money.
So hard to explain. That was beautiful. Not short, but very sweet. You know.
I'll take it. Thank you.
So my question was, who are the market participants in the foreign exchange market? There's 5 groups, and I'll briefly describe each of them. The first one is the international banks. There's about 100 to 200 worldwide, and they buy and sell foreign currency. The next group are bank customers, so they're retail clients of the international banks who help them conduct foreign commerce and making international investments. Then you have non-bank dealers. That's pretty straightforward. They're non-bank financial institutions. That includes investment banks, mutual funds, pension funds, hedge funds. Their size and frequency means that they're cost-effective to trade directly in interbank market, and also they are mostly speculative and arbitrage. And then there's FX brokers. They match dealer orders to buy and sell currencies for a fee. They don't take the position themselves. And then you have central banks who occasionally intervene in foreign exchange market to influence the price of their currency against that of a major trading partner or a major company or country.
So my question 12 was how would each of the following transactions would be classified in a debit or credit of the U.S. balance of payments. The first example was the Japanese insurance company purchasing U.S. Treasury bonds and paying it out of its New York City bank account. And the second would be a U.S. citizen consuming a meal at a restaurant in Paris and pays it with their American Express card. So the first example, the credit would be the Japanese purchase of the U.S. T-bonds, and the debit would be the Japanese payments, obviously because the T-bonds is the acquisition of debt, and the payment is obviously the receiving of money. For the second example, the U.S. citizen having the meal, that would be a debit because he's consuming something that's valuable, and the credit would be the payment of a meal with the American Express because he's paying the money.
Question 10 was, due to the integrated nature of the capital markets, investors in both U.S. and U.K. require the same real interest rate of 2.5% on their lending. There is a consensus that capital markets that the annual inflation rate is likely to be 3.5 in the U.S. and 1.5 in the U.K. for the next 3 years. And then the spot exchange rate is $1.50 to €1. And part A was compute the nominal interest rate for both the U.S. and the U.K. The formula right there. 1 plus the interest rate times 1 plus the inflation rate minus 1. We do that for both U.S. and U.K. Part B was what is the future expected dollar rate for the exchange rate 3 years from now. And there's a formula for that with the 3 years times both the interest rate and the inflation rate. And part C was, can you infer the $4 pound exchange rate for 1 year maturity? And there's a formula for that.
Is it y'all? You doing 7?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not sorry. I'm 4.
4.
You know, we would have used the S&P 500 if we were
AMD 22.
So my first question was how are foreign transactions between international banks settled? Basically, corresponding banking relationships allows for the functioning of foreign exchange market. When importers and exporters are working together, they can contact their bank for accepted offers, and banks coordinate with the exporter bank or importer bank to credit the accounts and debit the other accounts for the transaction to go through. Currency trading at a discount or at a premium in the forward market basically means that it involves a contract today for future purchase or sale of a foreign exchange forward price, maybe the same as the spot price, but usually it's higher, which is the premium, or lower, which is at a discount.
So it says on October 23rd, 1999, issued the economist reports that interest rate per annum is 5.93% in the United States and 70% in Turkey. So why do you think the interest rate is so high in Turkey based on reported interest rates? How would you predict the change in rate between the US dollar and the Turkish lira? So for this prediction on high Turkish interest rate must reflect a high expected inflation in Turkey. According to International Fisher Effect, we put it into the equation where it says 5.93% minus 7% is negative 64.07%. The Turkish lira thus is expected to depreciate against the US dollar by about 64%.
Alright, slide number 7, it's as of November 1st, 1999, the exchange rate between Brazil and the US dollar is about $1.95. They want to forecast the next year of inflation and they expect 2.6% to 20%. They want to know what it is November 1st of 2000. So first you need to find the inflation rate of Brazil, and that's high, so you do 2.6 minus 20%, you get negative 7.1, and you put that into the next equation. You multiply 1.95 times 1 plus 0.7 for that, and you get that.
Question 3 asks, explain the conditions under which the foreign exchange rate will be an unbiased predictor of the future spot exchange rate. And the answer is the forward exchange rate will be an unbiased predictor of the spot rate if the forward risk premium is insignificant and the foreign exchange markets are informationally insufficient. And then question 4 says, explain the purchasing power parity, the absolute and relative version, and what causes the deviations from the purchasing power parity. So the absolute version of purchasing power parity,
What country are you
S
comparing US
equals
to?
the dollar price of £1.
Oh, UK. So it would have just been the UK interest rate.
P here is the dollar price of the standard consumption basket in the US divided by the pound price of the same basket in the UK. And the relative version is the rate of
Assume
change
that it
of
was
exchange
that
rates
because it was the number of states, right? No, it didn't. How did you
inflation rate in the US
It already is.
and the inflation rate in the US minus the inflation rate in the UK. And purchasing power parity should be violated if there are barriers to international trade with people in different countries have different consumption tastes. Purchasing power parity is the law of one price applied to the standard consumption.
Shop there. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense.
Nope, no, it can't. You're right. That'd be whack to have an interest rate that high. Sousa, all you. Rocking and rolling. You're on.
Might just be January 42. 42, okay, got it. So what we're doing now is we're calculating the average annual compound growth rates for the MSCI Global Index, excluding the US. So what you're going to do is through these calculations, you're going to put those in your Excel spreadsheets, the worksheets, for the 1 year, the 3 year, the 5 year, and the 10 year. And that's going to allow you to look at the performance of your portfolio, subtract out the benchmark, and be able to see if you're generating any alpha. Okay? Okay. You guys need me to go through the worksheets again on Friday? One more time? Okay. And there's guys here that have taken the classes, 135, 136, or 136, that have worked on the spreadsheet so they can show how to do it. But you need to be able to calculate the benchmark returns, and that's what we're doing right now. Okay. So what's 49 point, break out your calculators. What's 49.72 divided by 42.7? Okay, so 1.16, and 1 divided by 1 is 1, right? And then what's 1 minus 1.16 minus 1? 0.16. What's 0.16 times 100? 16%. 16%. Yeah, 16%. 49.72. So did you get the, can you give me the MSCI Global Index X for January 2017. So 3 years ago.
Someone else do it. Dave.
Did you have that number?
Road trip.
From January 1st, 2017. You guys need to write all this stuff down. January 1st, 2017. And I need January 1st, 2015, and January 1st, 2010. So what's 49.72 divided by 41? 1.212. You take it to the 0.333, where it's 1 divided by 3, it's the 3-year. It's 1.066. What's 1.066 minus 1? 0.066, and it's 0.066 times 100. 6.6. Okay, and then over here we got 49.72 again. Got it. And 5 years ago, the index was 45.25. So what's 49.72 divided by 45.25? 1.098. And what's 1 divided by 5?
1.019.
What is that?
1
1 divided by 5.
Yeah.
1 divided by 5.
0.2.
0.02.
Yeah. And it comes out to 1.01902.
Is that right? 1 divided by 5?
1 divided by 5 is 0.2.
0.2. Got it. Okay. And then what is 1.098 to the 0.2?
1.
What is it?
1.019.
1.019 minus 1.
So it's 0.192.
0.19 times 100 is 1.9. Yeah, the emerging markets got hammered. Okay. So compared to the S&P 500, it's really hard to make money on a global basis because they got hammered. All right, so let's do the 10-year. So this is 49.72. The index was what, 42.38? Is that right? 42.38. Got it. So what is 49.72 divided by 42.38? What? 1.173 to the 0.1. Okay, and what do we get?
1.016.
We get 1.016. Right? Minus 1.
Yep.
0.016 times 100. 1.6. Alright, that's how you calculate the average annual compound growth rates. So again, just for some people don't understand, they never did it before, because usually what they'll do is they'll take the percentage change, from today to 5 years ago, we'll do the percentage change and divide it by 5. That's not how you do it, okay? You're calculating not the average return, you're calculating the average annual compound growth rate, okay? So, the current period, this was January 1st, 2020, divided by January 1st, 2019.
What is that number?
Huh?
What is
This
that?
is the index
Okay.
level for the MSCI global excluding the US. Okay, so it's the index.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's January 1st, 2020, divided by January 1st, 2019. You get the ratio. 1 divided by 1, you're going to get 1.16. Right? 1.16 minus 1 gives you 0.16. Times 100 gives you 16%. So if the index has been going up, it's pretty easy, right? You just do this calculation, and for the 1-1, it's 16%, so you can eliminate 2 of the steps. Okay? The math is easy for an annual basis. And then when you're doing the 3-year, this is January 1st, 2020, January 1st, 2017. You take the ratio of it, which is 1.212 to the 0.333, which is 1 divided by 3. You get 1.066 minus 1, 0.66 times 100, 6.6. Yes. Average annual compound growth rate of the last 3 years.
And these are those you want us to use for the
Yeah, in your worksheets,
Yeah.
the 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, at the bottom, it's gonna calculate the return on your portfolio. You're gonna put in the MSCI index returns, and it's gonna calculate your alpha right over here. So you're gonna be able to benchmark your portfolio against the global index to see if you can beat the index based on your country, sector, and company selection. If we had time, what we would do is we would look at the returns that your portfolio generated and look at the attribution, okay? The attribution of how much of the return is coming from your country selection, how much is coming from your sector selection, and how much is coming from your company selection.
We want to
We probably should go through at least the mathematics behind the attribution analysis. So I'll see if I can dig up, some of that stuff. Unless, already has that stuff. Do you have the attribution analysis?
No, I don't.
No, okay, I'll look it up. I'll present kind of a problem and kind of go through it, so you're at least exposed to it. And then on the 5-year, we have the index level for January 1st, 2020, January 1st, 2015. You take the ratio, you get 1.098. 1 divided by 5 is 0.2, so you take the 1.098 to the 0.2. You get 1.019. Right there, you pretty much know what it is, right? You know it's 1.9%, because you don't have to go through the -1 and it's times 100 to know it's 1.9%. So you can eliminate a couple steps pretty quickly. And then for the 10-year, January 1st, 2020, January 1st, 2010, you take the ratio, 1.173, to the 1 divided by 10 is 0.1, you get 1.016, and we know that it's 1.6. Okay? Any questions? Yes.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Why do the percentages keep getting smaller? I know
Because
obviously the math adds up to it.
Well, look at the index. Look at the index. I don't know if you,
Yeah, I got it.
did you pull up the index?
I got it.
If you look at the graph of the index, you can see that there was a significant dip, and you gotta understand too, is Europe, was in a severe recession, and they never really came out of it, so that's basically flatlined the index. Japan, which is probably a significant portion of the index, has been in a recession for like 15 years, so that's gonna flatline and pull down the index. So if you look at the market caps for the companies that make up the index, and you look at the individual charts, you can see who's pulling down the index. And it was a pretty severe recession. Over the last year, the U.S. stock market, the S&P 500 was up like 20-something%. So the U.S. has pulled up, the rest of the world, but if you look at how the world performed, ex-US, 10 years ago, they got freaking hammered during the recession. And we are not even capturing, we're only doing 2010, we don't have 2009, 9 and 8, which would have been, these probably could have been negative if we went back 15 or 20 years. You might want to go ahead and run the 15, 20 years just to see
how bad it was.
Yeah, see how bad it was. And how well the U.S. did. And that's one of the reasons why the U.S. dollar has appreciated so much, is because global stock markets have completely underperformed compared to the United States. So they sold off their foreign stocks, converted from their foreign stocks into U.S. dollar, which has caused their currency to depreciate and the U.S. dollar to appreciate. And a lot of that money that came from overseas went into the U.S. stock market and actually pushed up the market even more than it otherwise would have done, because there was massive capital flight out of emerging markets into the United States, not only as a safe haven, but the United States was providing a significantly higher rate of return, even after taking into consideration currency effects. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Yes.
In the portfolio, like the Excel spreadsheet,
Yeah.
this one doesn't account for beta at all. Are we calculating the beta?
Yeah, in the target portfolio worksheet.
But it's not there for this one. I remember it from last class. And I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I would.
So use that one, and then.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay, just.
Yep.
That's what we're gonna do.
And then you might be able to do is work with some of the other groups, and what you can do is pull up your worksheet, pull up theirs, and then copy and paste the formulas within that column.
Okay, I might just.
So you could do that too.
Yeah.
Or, you guys use, once you get the weights in your target portfolio worksheet, you just put in the betas and calculate a weighted average.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple calculation. You guys should know how to do weighted averages.
Yeah.
In Excel.
I hope so.
Okay, any other questions or anything? So on Friday, who's presenting? We get more done in one class than you get done in a week, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We are.
Okay, cool. Who else is presenting? Okay, awesome. So I got two. Anybody else? Look at the syllabus, see if you're going to be presenting, giving out the teams and with chapters. So look at it. Anybody else presenting Friday? Okay, looks like I'll present. So take a look at the exchange rate presentation that I put in that talks about the institutional factors that drive the currency values up and down. Okay, all right. So we'll do that, and we'll probably get out a little early, if that's okay with you.
No, make us stay.
All right, thank you. Thanks.